and we got to fix ourselves. And none of that's true. The truth is there's perfection at the very seat of our soul. And all we got to do is realize it, tap into it, believe it, and start living, walking, and talking like it's the truth. Growing up, we were never told how powerful we are. And as a matter of fact, most of us were told we had limitations because our parents believed that about themselves. And that's how they were brought up, and that's how they were taught. And so it was just perpetuated throughout generations. And a lot of religiousness, I don't want to get all into that, was part of that we were taught different things about the Bible and about being a good person, being humble. And you know what? It's okay to think highly of yourself. As a matter of fact, we ought to think highly of ourselves. If you don't love yourself, then you can't love anybody else. And what's like the golden rule? Love your neighbor as yourself. Well, if you can barely stand yourself, how do you think you're going to feel about your neighbor? See, it doesn't even make sense. There's a lot of things we were told, collective beliefs that were just untrue. And what's another one? I just heard this one today. I'm trying to think of it real quick. Those collective beliefs that we were given, like seeing is believing. Well, it's actually believing is seeing. And I know I've said that before, but there's so many other ones. Money doesn't grow on trees. Once a cheater, always a cheater. That you have to go to college to be successful. And there's so many people who haven't gone to college and have done much better than those who have. There are people with master's degrees that never make much money or don't feel very good about themselves, still have low self-esteem and everything else. So it's not about all that. It's about a deep belief, a seated belief within us that we are worthy. And we really only get that when we realize that we are one with the Creator. We are one with the great I am. You know, it says in the Bible too, be perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect. That's the one I was trying to think of a second ago. But everybody says, well, nobody's perfect. Well, why does the Bible tell us then to be perfect like our Father in heaven? It's because they live within us and we are able to tap into that perfection. We all have underlying deep perfection within us in these human bodies. God has experienced 8 billion different scenarios all at once through each and every one of us, living in each and every one of us. So if you're sad, you're making God feel sad. If you're happy, then God's happy for you. God is compassionate and loving and does feel what we feel and understand where we're coming from. It's not some creator in the sky that's made us the way we are and then is angry at us for being the way we are. Does that even make sense? That you would create a bunch of people that most of us try to love each other and get along. Certainly doesn't happen and all the time. There's been wars and horrible things and atrocities throughout the years. But it always keeps coming back underlying love. That love is the underlying power in this universe. Not fear, not anger, not worry, not doubt, although we all experience those things, but we know what the power is. It's the power of love. That's what carries us through. And humanity always comes back to that. Why? Because deep down inside, we are all one with the Creator and we are all one with the great I am. And we know that that is love and that is the true power. Not, not the lies of this world, not um, that's another thing too. Real quick, sorry, I'm just going on a tangent here. People actually hate things that they want. Like everybody would like to have some money and feel wealthy. It maybe not be a millionaire or billionaire, but you should. Why not be a millionaire? Then you can help more people, and you can help yourself more. But then we end up People are angry at people who have money, and they despise the very thing that they want. How can you despise people with money and then want to be a person with money? It's not going to work. It can't happen. How can you despise people who are in really good shape and you feel like you're not, and then you're like, look at them. They really think there's something. You should you should feel motivated and inspired and happy for them, and realize that you're no different than they are. You can have that, no matter what anybody has. We can all have. There's enough abundance for all of us to have anything we want, everything we want. That's another thing. We've been taught with such a lack mindset. It's such a lack mindset. It's fucking unbelievable. I mean, I grew up with that. I was so shy. I was so scared. I was always worried. My family was always in chaos and worrying about money and worrying about this and what if this happens and what if that happens. And most of the stuff never happened, but we lived for days being miserable about things that might happen that never did. That's what I was taught growing up. And I bet a lot of you were too. So, look, this isn't poor me. It's just the fact that that's how a lot of us grew up. And we were taught, not to speak well of ourselves. If you speak well of yourself, they call you arrogant. And if you are self-deprecating, then that's perfectly fine. You can say the worst, most horrible things about yourself and laugh, and everybody will laugh along with you. But by God, if you start saying good things, like positive, uplifting things about yourself, people are like, wow, you're kind of full of yourself. Actually, I was in a really good mood one time when I went to work, and I was kind of joking around and talking, and my boss goes, wow, you're really full of yourself tonight. And I was thinking, I'm just in a good mood. That was it. But people like will judge each other because what, they weren't in a good mood and I was. So it's ridiculous, and we all do that. I've done that. I'm sure I have. What am I saying? I'm saying that we all can have all the things we want, and all we got to do is just tap into that true I am within us and rest in the fact that there is no lack within the creator of heaven and earth and all that is seen and unseen. That's another thing. We're so focused on what is seen, and what is seen is like point is 0.0035% or 0.0035% of reality around us. You could look that up on Google or Chat GPT. But it's less than half of a percent of out external 3D world that we actually can see through the visual spectrum because of the limitation of the light that our eyes can perceive. So there's all kinds of. I believe in archangels. I think we have angels around us. I think there are interdimensional beings around us. I think heaven's all around us, and I think heaven's within us. Heaven's within and without us. The kingdom of heaven is within you. Jesus said that. God, I mean, that's in the Bible. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. I'm just going off here. But man, listen, all these things are so true, and we've heard them for years, but we don't believe them. We we go by this religious nonsense that's taught. They take the Bible and they teach it in a religious manner and make us guilty, and we're born sinners and everything's wrong with us, and we got to fix ourselves. And none of that's true. The truth is there's perfection at the very seat of our soul. And all we got to do is realize it, tap into it, believe it, and start living, walking, and talking like it's the truth. And you know what? Your life turns around because you're actually living heaven on earth, because heaven is within us. The kingdom of heaven's within. Heaven's eternal too. We're eternal beings. It's a whole thing. There's no end to this. This is forever. We're eternal. It's awesome. You're going to spend a long time with yourself, so you better learn to love yourself, and then you can love everybody else too. What about that? I mean, I don't even know. I can't get more real than this. I'm just saying. I know what I've gone through. It took me 60 years to find this out. Do you know how If I think about that, I could get really pissed off. But I'm not pissed off. I'm grateful. But I am kind of surprised that it took me this long to find out. If it wasn't for me at least having an open mind, I had an open mind to take this knowledge in, this information in, and I assessed it compared to what I knew. I used to pray like people pray, and you know how I even heard Joyce Myers, a famous minister, say, it's hard for me to pray for 3 minutes. Well, it was hard for me to pray like we're taught to, asking God for things and hoping He might do it and all this stuff. But I can meditate for an hour and a half because I'm actually tapping into God. I could sense not His, their being. I could sense the divine's holiness, the vibe, the spirit, the peace. I could find that and I could meditate for an hour and a half is the longest I've gone. But I couldn't pray for 3 minutes the way I was taught when I was little. It's because one, you're really contacting and you're becoming one, and you're knowing that you're one, and you're spending time with the Creator. And the other one, you're kind of just in your ego asking for stuff. And people keep praying for the same things over and over and over. Meanwhile, Jesus said, whatever you ask for in prayer, believing that you have received it, and it will be yours. It was real simple. It was like, know that you already received it, and then it's yours. Now, if you knew after you prayed that you already received it, why would you keep praying for the same thing over and over and over and over and over again? It's because you don't believe it. Neither did I. I'm not accusing you of anything. Dude, I was the same way. I was like that for a long time. This was so eye opening to me. I was scared to even believe this because I was so brought up in religiousness that I thought, oh, I what if I'm messing up? What if this isn't true? You know what? And you know what? I took the chance. I stepped out in faith, and I found out this is the truth. Not all that stuff, not all that religious jargon and it's pretentious, false righteousness, false humility. Sorry, my nose is itching. That's what it was. That's what it is. Just, man, just realize God loves you. You were put here for a reason. Walk in that. Feel good about yourself. Love yourself, and find peace. And you know what? You'll find peace with others, and you'll find love in others, because that's what you're looking for, and you see what you're looking for. You find what you're looking for. And it's in my last song. You know what? I just started writing affirmation music, and Michelle and I have been doing videos. Michelle's a really good video editor. So check out, we got 3 songs right now. We just started this, but we have the best. There you go. We have the best original affirmation music and videos that you can find on the internet right now. There's 3 of them on our website, on our YouTube channel, The Freedom Habit. Go there right now. Check them out. And you know what? I put some notes down here because I want to remember to tell you this. Also, we will give you a free consultation call, like a 20-minute call. You can talk to us. You can ask us any questions. You can send us an email. The email's in the description, as well as, sorry, I'm getting bit by a bug, as well as we have a bunch of free PDFs. If you send us an email, we got PDFs about all kinds of things, about beating opiate addiction, about recalibrating your subconscious mind. Okay, there you go. Uh, all kinds of PDFs. So we have free PDFs. Check those out. And you know what? If you've been watching our channel for a while, please like and subscribe and share, because it's going to help more people find us. And you know what? I want to thank everybody too. We have 847 subscribers as of today, and I thank each and every one of you folks. I love you guys, and I appreciate you so much. And we want to help you. We want to encourage and inspire you. If I could change at 60 and my wife can change at 30, no, I'm just kidding. She's a little older than that. But if she can change and I can change at the ages that we are, you can do it too. And I don't care if you're 90 or if you're 22, it doesn't matter. All right. Thanks so much for listening. Have a great day.